Today, we are covering the vertical circle 0-point air procedure from the Nikon Instruction Manual. The procedure is covered in our GBM Operator's Manual in the Operations section under Checking Theodolite Zero Point Calibration. This procedure is important to ensure the accuracy of the theodolite. Akkerman recommends that users perform the Checking Theodolite Zero Point Calibration procedure prior to each pilot tube installation, and if necessary, adjust the vertical circle 0-point air constant. In the field, your theodolite may look like this. A couple important things before we start this process is that the eyepiece for the camera will need to be removed and replaced with the extra one in the orange case. Another thing is that the focus drive belt will need to be removed. I will make those changes now and then I'll show you what it looks like. So I'll just do this. When removing the belt, it can be a little bit tricky. You might need to position the drive motor so you can get your hands in there, but it's good practice to compress that spring and then work this belt off. So the belt will come off and this aluminum piece on the top can stay on there and on the bottom can stay on there. Another thing to be careful of as you rotate the scope is the cable here for the power can be wrapped around. Just be mindful that it doesn't get in your way or you don't wrap it around too many times. In order to get into the mode, we'll hold the illumination key and press the power button. Release the illumination key. The current constant will be displayed on the screen. Now I need to tilt the scope until VR pops up. This is face 1. You'll see now that VR or face 1 is now displayed on the screen. So now I will pick an arbitrary target, which will be a light switch at the other end of the room, and I will align the theodolite to that now and show you what that looks like. It's good practice to pick a target that is the length of your pilot tube shot or longer to ensure accuracy over the whole pilot tube drive. I now have our VR set the crosshairs on the target the way I prefer them, and to apply this value I will press hold and VL will display underneath VR, and now we will rotate the theodolite to face 2. I will put the crosshairs back on the same point on that target down there, and then the instrument can compare the difference. So I now have the face 2 crosshairs pointed at the same corner of the target down there. You'll notice that VR is saved and VL has updated. To apply VL, we'll press hold. The theodolite will now display the updated correction constant. Now that we have our updated constant displayed, we can save it by pressing hold. If we don't want to apply this constant will just power the theodolite off. In this instance, I want to apply it and save it, so I will press hold. The telescope will update back to the home screen where it shows tilt telescope and the horizontal angle. To move on, we can just tilt the telescope. And your telescope, your theodolite will be ready to proceed. It's important to note that if the adjustment to the constant is unsuccessful, the theodolite will display over, and that means that the theodolite should be sent in for calibration. After your constant is adjusted, the value will be stored in memory even after the theodolite is powered off. So the last step of this procedure is to turn it off.